The battle of our freedom is fought and won, but another battle no less important than what we have won still faces us. It is a battle with no outside enemy. It is a battle with our own self. In the Punjab, in both east and west, there was disaster and sorrow. There was murder and arson and looting in many places, and streams of refugees poured out from one place to another. Our foundations have been shaken, and our standards seem to have disappeared. I cannot think of the people in Pakistan as strangers. They have been our countrymen, and neither they nor we can rid ourselves of the past or forget our close kinship. I can assure the people of Pakistan that India has no aggressive designs against any country, least of all against Pakistan. We want Pakistan to live in peace and to progress and to have the closest ties with us. There never will be aggression from our side. Friends and fellow Asians, what has brought you, the men and women of Asia, here? Why have you come from various countries of this mother continent of ours and gathered together in this ancient city of Delhi? Asia, after a long period of quiescence, has suddenly become important again in world affairs. It was here that civilization began, and man started on his unending adventure of life. Here the mind of man searched unceasingly for truth, and the spirit of man shone out like a beacon which lighted up the whole world. This dynamic Asia, from which great streams of culture flowed in all directions, gradually became static and unchanging. A change is coming over the scene now, and Asia is again finding herself. There are powerful creative impulses and a new vitality in all the people of Asia. The masses are awake and they demand their heritage. Strong winds are blowing all over Asia. Let us not be afraid of them, but rather welcome them, for only with their help can we build the new Asia of our dreams. The dawn of its newly acquired freedom is turbulent, because during these past 2 centuries, its growth was arrested, frustration was widespread, and new forces appeared. These forces were essentially nationalist, seeking political freedom, but behind them was the vital urge for bettering the economic conditions of the masses of the people. The remedy is to accelerate the advent of freedom and to remove the poverty. If this is achieved, Asia will become a powerful factor for stability and peace. October 1947. Considerable parts of the Jammu and Kashmir state have been overrun by raiders from outside, well armed and well equipped, and they have sacked and looted the towns and villages and put many of the inhabitants to the sword. Frightfulness suddenly descended upon this lovely and peaceful country. To be fighting side by side with the people of Kashmir against fanatic hordes was a heartening experience which set aside for the moment the memories of communal strife and partition. I trust in this defense we shall give a demonstration to all India and to the world how we can function unitedly and in a non-communal way in Kashmir. In this way, this terrible crisis in Kashmir may well lead to a healing of the deep wounds which India has suffered in recent months. The world of today has achieved much, but for all its declared love for humanity, it has based itself far more on hatred and violence than on the virtues that make man human. Not mere killing, for man must die, but the deliberate and persistent propagation of hatred and falsehood, which gradually become the normal habits of the people. It is dangerous and harmful to be guided in our life's course by hatreds and aversions, for they are wasteful of energy and limit and twist the mind and prevent it from perceiving the truth. This little man of poor physique had something of steel in him, something rock-like, which did not lack physical powers, however great they might be. His calm, deep eyes would hold one and gently probe into the depth. His voice, clear and limpid, would purr its way into the heart and evoke an emotional response. His language was always simple and to the point. A man of the keenest intellect, of fine feeling and good taste, wide vision, very humane, and yet essentially an ascetic who had suppressed his passion and emotions, sublimated them, and directed them in the spiritual channel. A tremendous personality, drawing people to himself like a magnet and calling out fierce loyalty and attachments, and this so utterly unlike a peasant. And yet withal, he is the great peasant, with a peasant blindness to some aspects of life. Friends and comrades, the light has gone out of our lives and there is darkness everywhere. Our beloved leader, Bapu as we call him, the father of the nation, is no more. We will not run to him for advice and seek solace from him. And that is a terrible blow, not to me only, but to millions and millions in this country. A madman has put an end to his life, for I can only call him mad who did it. And yet there has been enough poison spread in this country during the past years and months. And this poison has had an effect on people's minds. We must face this poison. We must root out this poison. And we must face all the perils that encompass us, and face them not madly or badly, but rather in the way that our beloved teacher taught us to face them.